Good morning. Good morning to each of you. I am Dr. Corrine Johnson, and I would like to welcome each of you on this morning to Grace for Today 5 Minute Devotional. And on this morning, our subject is going to be God calls you to a higher road. And our key scripture is going to be coming from Proverbs 29 and verse 11. And it says, "A fool expresses all his emotions, but a wise person controls them." So, when we think about the high road on this morning, the high road is always the right road. You cannot control what other people do to you, but you can control how you react to the individual that's causing you trouble. So you can choose to get angry and stressed out and sink into depression, or you can respond graciously. The choice is yours. Will you be foolish or will you be wise? So, why is it foolish to express all of your emotions? Because we must understand that if you don't have a filter, your emotions can lead to you saying words that can be destructive. And so your feelings need to be examined. You can't act on all of your feelings, and you shouldn't share all of them either. You don't have to say everything that you're thinking. So your mouth is controlled by your mind. So that means that you need to shift gears in your mind if you want to have self-control with your words. Wise words come from wise thoughts. So when others cause pain in your life, when others do things to you to frustrate you, to upset you, or to get you to act out of character, a lot of times we might be tempted to feel entitled to express to that person how we feel about them in that very moment. But the choice, this is a choice. You don't have to erupt verbally just because you've been hurt, just because somebody did something to you that you feel like you didn't deserve. When you are mistreated, the proper reaction isn't to blow up or clam up. And I know that it's hard for us not to respond negatively when people are mistreating us. But you got to make sure that you use wisdom, saying the right thing at the right time in the right way. Because a lot of times when people do stuff that causes us pain, we want to get even because we feel like that's the right thing to do in the moment, but we got to resist the urge because the Bible already told us that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, he will repay. So we don't have to get even. We don't have to wait for karma. God will repay according to what he feels that that person deserves. So sinking to the other person's level, it isn't satisfying and it's not going to improve the relationship. So let me encourage you this morning, take the high road and be wise by demonstrating your self-control. I heard somebody say, when they go low, you go high. So on this morning, when people go low, when they do low level things in your life, you go high. Because God calls you to a higher role. God calls you to a higher standard. And so the scripture in Proverbs 29 and 11 says, "A fool expresses all his emotions, but a wise person controls them." So when things are going on that's causing you trouble or that's causing you pain, don't say what you feel in that very moment. Be wise and control your words because God is calling us to a higher road. And so on this morning, we certainly thank God for each of you for tuning in and joining with us for Grace for Today 5-minute devotional. And it is my prayer that as you go forth on today, that you will go forth and have a blessed day.